I hope you don't judge me for how horrible these cookies are for you, because if you do make them and you try them, you'll completely understand why I'm willing to eat ingredients like this that are full of titanium dioxide, hydrogenated palm kernel oil, and artificial flavors. It's because they're perfect. They're soft. They're easy to dip cookies into. They crust up and get firm, but not hard. You can buy them in lots of bright colors and mix white into the bright colors to soften them. In settling on a brand, you're going to have to taste them and find out which ones are gritty, like that one, or which ones are very, very thick and less viscous. To control the viscosity, you're going to need to buy either melting crystals or high ratio cake and icing shortening. There is no cocoa butter in here, so you cannot over agitate candy melts. 45 seconds to start in the microwave and then 15-second blast. But if you over microwave them, they will get thicker and start to seize up, so be very careful. I am making these for myself, so I don't need to use gloves the entire time, but if you're selling these or giving them to anybody else, you need to wear gloves to protect the ready-to-eat food product. The technique is to tap, 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 and then pull away the cookie very quickly. That creates almost like a suction so that you can then smooth out the icing in the center, and it should flow into a smooth topping. Now mine looks rough, but don't worry, you will see how forgiving these cookies are. My review of these candy melts is that they do not perform very well, so if I were to do these again professionally, I would seek out a source of candy melts that really had a nice flow. Saving melted candy melts, or chocolate for that matter, just takes pouring it onto parchment and letting it solidify. You can break it up and melt it again later. It's already obvious that I am not using royal icing, but the next ingredient is the secret trick. Vanilla heat and ice donut icing in a bucket. Yeah, it's gross. It's got glucose syrup, palm oil, tapioca starch, titanium dioxide, preservatives, and artificial flavor. But you know what it does? It crusts up so you can stack these cookies and bag them. It crusts up quickly, way faster than royal icing. You can color it with regular food coloring. You'll notice I don't use a metal pastry tip because I can't microwave this. And this is me piping before I put the bag in the microwave. The birthday is after I microwaved the pastry bag with the donut icing in it for 5 to 7 seconds. That's it. It becomes very flowy. So what you have to do is hold the pastry bag upright to turn it off, because when you turn it upside down, the icing is going to flow right out of the bag. So it's not like piping a buttercream or a royal icing. You don't have to push. You basically have to drop and drag and allow it to flow into place. So it takes a little bit of practice. Time is money, so when you plan the designs, you have to pick things that go quickly and you don't have to fuss over. Because if you can't make 1,500 cookies in one day for a holiday, you aren't going to make money. Draw and plan the designs you plan to use. This will save you time, and it will also give you a better overall effect. I would choose 3 different shapes that are compatible, or one shape in 3 different sizes, and do the designs that go well together using texture and by building. This is a buildable icing. You have to let it dry in between, but once it's solid, you can pipe on top of it to get some texture and relief. So if you thought you needed royal icing and a bunch of pastry tips and a toothpick to smooth everything out and your cookies have to be perfect, they don't. You can not only make money doing this, but you can also just make things that are much more pleasing to the eye that everyone will love to eat. It's not healthy, but who cares? They taste so good. Jackie Scott lives on every single time I make these cookies. Such a delight.